Hello students, good morning and welcome a new English class. My name is Cristina Silva and I am your English teacher. Today we will learn about the future. So let's know and let's learn. In this future we want to learn about going to. Going to is used to express purposeful plans or events for the future. If you do this going to, if you use going to, you have some certainty that it will happen. So you use going to for plans or events in a future. But how can I use that in my life? How can I express that in my plans? So let's start the grammar. The first grammar, you need to know affirmative, negative, or questions with going to. In affirmative, you have unorganized topics that you need to use for make affirmative sentences with going to. The first you need to know is subject. What is the subject in English? He, she, it, we, you, they, I. This is the subject. And you need to remember about the to be. You remember the to be? Verb to be. Is, are, am. Remember, is you need to write with he, she, or it. Are, you need to write with we, you, it, they. And am, you need to write with I. Then you need to use the auxiliary verb. In a future, remember, going to. And remember, going to you use when you have some certainty that this event or this action happened in a future. Then you need a principal verb to dance, to cook, to make, to do, to study, the principal verb. And then you can use the complement. So this is some examples that I use in affirmative, negative, or question that you need to remember. The first, my family is going to travel to Peru. Going to, in Spanish, translate voy a. My family is going to travel to Peru. Mi familia va a viajar a Perú. I have some certainty that it will happen in a future with my family. Other example, Lucas is going to make another movie. We are going to go bowling tonight. Remember, going to is a plans with a future. But what happened? I need to explain a plans in a future, but I need to say in negative. I know how to write and say in affirmative, but how can I write negative? Okay, according with examples, you need to organize the sentences. The first, subject. Then you need to use again to be, but in negative, with the particular not. Is not or isn't, are not or aren't, I'm not. Then you need to auxiliary the verb in a future, in this case, going. In a future, remember in Spanish, voy a, auxiliary verb. Then the principal verb, to study, to dance, to cook, to make, to do, the action. And then if you want, the complement. So according with examples, I say in affirmative, my family is going to travel to Peru. Now in negative, my family isn't or is not going to travel to Peru. Lucas isn't going to make another movie. Or Lucas is not going to make another movie. We aren't going to go bowling tonight. Or we are not going to bowling tonight. Remember the to be with the auxiliary, the verb to be. You need to remember the subject. You can't write they is or they isn't. No, they are or they aren't. She are. What? No, she is or she isn't. So remember. Okay, you know in this moment how can you affirmative in the plans with a futures. You can say something plans in a future in negative. What happened with questions? Okay. You need to make a question. You need to remember. Remember, I always say in my class, if you have a question, you need to start always with the to be. Unless the question you need to start information and you use WH. WH question. These WH questions start the question. But if you don't need information, you need to use to be. To be, subject, remember subject in English, he, she, it, we, you, they, I, auxiliary verb with the future going to, principal verb, the action that you want to express in a question, to study, to learn, to write, to read, whatever expression that you need to make in English, but in a principal verb. And then the complement and the sign. According with example, my family is going to travel to Peru. In negative, my family isn't going to travel to Peru. Now, the question is my family going to travel to Peru? Is my family going to travel to Peru? According with the sample, is Lucas going to make another movie? Or are we going to go bowling tonight? So, this is the grammar in affirmative, negative, or question with going to. Remember, if you use going to, you have some certainty that will happen your plans. Okay, so it's now the time to practice. What is the practice? In the activity number 1, I read the conversation. You need to listen the things about Lee and Ruby plans to do on Saturday. Please remember, when you have a text or maybe a conversation or maybe an article, whatever, underline the words that you don't know, write in your notebook and check in your dictionary who translates or what translates, these words in Spanish. Because this activity or this exercise helps you to know vocabulary. Okay, so are you ready to listen? Let's start. Are you coming with us? Lee, Amy. Hi, Amy. Listen, it's my mom's 14th birthday next Tuesday, and Ruby and I want to buy her something special. We're going to take the subway to mall on Saturday. Get a mom a gift, and then we're going to see a movie at the multiplex. Oh, and I'm going to buy some new sneakers. Can you come with us? Hope so. Oh, we're not going to tell anybody. It's a surprise. Then Amy and Lee have a conversation. Hi, Lee. Hey, Amy, are you coming with us tomorrow? Yes, but what time? Are we taking the subway? I can't remember. We're not taking the subway anymore. The bus is cheaper. So we're taking extra bus from the bus stop on Mandela Avenue at 10:15. Oh, and I checked the movie times. They're showing Fast Car at the multiplex at 2:30. Bill's meeting us there. Ray, see you tomorrow at 10:50. Okay, this is the conversation. Now it's time to the practice. According with the conversation that you listen now, you need to answer this question. Remember, please, you need to use long answer. Don't write me yes, no, yes, no. No, please, please, try. Remember, use long answer. So, according with the conversation, please write me your answer. Okay, now, activity number 2. In the activity number 2, you have a short text about the holidays in Thailand. What is the activity? You need to learn and underline the sentences when you can see going to with a filtered lines. You need to underline these sentences. Then you need to write me these sentences that you found in the test for negative. For example, in the first, say, I'm going to Thailand. So you need to underline. How can I write these sentences but in negative? I'm not going to Thailand. Okay? You need to underline and then you need to write me in negative. Okay? Activity number 3. You need to listen the sentences with the going to and write them. It's 4 sentences, so I read the sentences. Are you ready? Okay, so the first sentences, please concentrate, listen. I read slowly. The first. He's going to come with me to the shoe store. Please write that you listen. He's going to come with me to shoe store. Number 2. Are you going to come with us? Number 2. Are you going to come with us? Number 3. I'm going to go to the bookstore first. I'm going to go to the bookstore first. Number 4. I'm not going to spend all my money. I'm not going to spend all my money. Okay, according to you listened, you write in your notebook, please. Okay, the last activity that you need to make is a question about you. What about you? What are you going to do on your vacation? Write